Going live. And we're live.
We are live. Welcome to GI TV Live Show on February 3rd, 2015. Got the year right. Dan, you want to start us off with promotions? You want me to go?
Yeah, good. Why don't you start off?
All right, so first of all, our 25% coupon code is still available right now. Use the code 2015-2015 for 25% off select items. Also, free shipping is available on orders over $80. You can use the coupon code GI Free Ship. Again, GI Free Ship for free shipping. And also, $1 million giveaway is still going on. That's my favorite deal on airsoft.com because it's really cool. You can basically, with certain products you buy, it's going to give you codes, and you can use those codes to get free stuff on almost the entire gambit of our website. So it's really fun. That's a tiny fly. Now, we also have Mad Bull products that are 40% off, up to 40% off on Mad Bull products. So if you've ever been wanting stuff like that, I would highly suggest you take advantage of it now while it's still ongoing. Now, we also, for those of you who don't know, we have 3 stores. We are actually the nation's largest airsoft chain store. We have stores in California, Texas, as well as Virginia. So I highly suggest checking those out. Our employees in each of those locations are stand-up individuals, that's to be sure. We also have 2 websites, airsoftgi.com and gitactical.com. And we're actually having a special thing going on called Operation Golden Ram, which I'm going to pass off to Daniel while I silence my phone.
So Operation Golden Ram is going to be our beginning of the year California sale that we typically do every year. So it's going to be at the store here in Walnut, California. It's going to be 25% off with select brand and select map drop, which is going to be nice because you can get a lot of good discounts on some of your favorite products and guns. It is going to be February 21st, and I believe the hours are going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we're also going to be doing giveaways. If you guys are familiar with the little red envelopes for like Chinese New Year's, the first 100 people in line will be getting those red envelopes with GI Bucks in there, or maybe a free gun. So if you guys show up early and line up ahead of time, you guys could potentially win a lot of cool stuff, and you guys will have first dibs at all of our great discounts on February 1st at the Walnut, California store.
February 21st?
February 21st.
Yes, February 3rd.
Yes, not first.
Yeah.
Unless you have a DeLorean, you're going to go back 80 miles. 80 miles
well, no, you need 88 miles to get back in time.
With the flex capacitor.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
Also, we're going to talk about the SIG 226 by KJW, but I seem to have... oh, no, that's not it. I don't see it back
I'm not sure if it's here, but we have a great deal on KJW SIG 226. That pistol typically retails for $105, and then we just got another model in where it's a metal slide and a polymer smoke frame, and it's only $50, and that's why it's a good deal and why I wanted to share it with you guys, because it will perform exactly the same as the full metal one, but it's 50% off. It's $50. So it's a hell of a good deal. And if you guys are looking for a solid secondary, that is a great deal on the website. We're actually running really low on those, and then once they're gone, I'm pretty sure they're going to be gone forever. So if you guys want to get one of those, check those out on our website, KJW 226. Yeah, those are super dope.
I just want to go into that for a second because one of the first things I wanted to get when I got into airsoft is a sidearm, because I always thought it was the coolest thing ever, like when your mag runs dry to go to your sidearm, and that was probably the first thing I was really excited about in airsoft. So for these to be affordable for folks that can't normally afford like $100, $120 to get a sidearm at $50, it's a really great deal.
Yeah, especially with the fact that it performs like a $100 pistol, because, well, it pretty much is.
Oh, here it is.
Bill saves the day.
Well done, Bill.
Now we can just...
Boba Fett hat.
Oh, jeez.
Nerd.
So...
But this is the 226 that we were talking about. Once again, $49.99. So it is that polymer smoke frame. But if you want a $100 pistol for half the price, this is literally it. So yeah, super dope. Pew pew.
Now, you've been using KJWs for a long time, as far as I remember.
Yeah, KJWs are super solid. I really like them because they come at a very affordable, reasonable price, but the performance is very good. The gas efficiency is almost always enough to get the full magazine out. I have had little to issues with reliability or accuracy or jamming or anything like that. So I've sold a lot of KJW M9s when I was back at the retail store, just because that was one of the best pistols for that price range. So yeah, definitely check those out. I see somebody was asking about the Blackwater Smoke 1911s. I believe those are potentially out for good. So same thing with these Smoke 226s. We have a few left right now, but once they're gone, I believe they're going to be gone for good.
Just want to make a note real quick. Some folks are saying hi from Portugal. Hello, Portugal. Also from Tennessee. And there's one individual I'd like to point out in particular who's saying hello from Kuwait, but also his name is really cool. Semi-Lunar Tactical Pickle Particle.
Wow, say that 5 times fast.
Semi-lunar tactical pickle partisan. I'm not even gonna go fight that. But anyway, it's a really cool name. So hello Kuwait too. Yeah.
Awesome. So now I think we can move on to our topic of the day, which I'm very excited about.
Yes.
Bob, do you want to start us off?
Yes, we're starting a whole nationwide campaign of events this year called BB Wars. And it will be righteous. And in fact, the first episode, BB Wars Episode 1, A New Dawn, is going to take place at D14 Airsoft Field. And I believe that's located in Sanger, Texas. But it's very close to our walk-in store in Plano, Texas, GI Tactical, Texas. So that's going to be a really great event on March 29th at D14. However, we're going to have events, like I said, all across the country. And it's going to culminate in a final battle. And what made this series of events and the Tim versus Bob series before this really interesting for me personally, is obviously I was in it, but also the fact that every single one of our games, it really, the success or failure of either the Empire or the Rebellion comes down to individual action by players, and that's something we want to continue on with this game series. For example, at Tim versus Bob, I believe it was 4, there was one player that held a pipeline, and he held it for the last 15 minutes of the game. And if he hadn't held that pipeline, the entire setup for the rest of the weekend would have been utterly different, and my victory, or my Rebels' victory, would have been really thrown up in the air. So a lot of the success or victory in these games really comes down to what players show up, and how, I guess, how hard they play, because like you can have a lot of fun at these games. You can the great thing about these, in addition to everything else I mentioned, is that this is not a Milsim event. We do have a lot of Milsim teams that come out to this just to have a really great time, but we want everyone to come out and have just as great of a time, which is why there are no magazine restrictions. So if you have an M4 and you have a box mag, bring it out. We want to encourage players to bring everything in the kitchen sink, because that's essentially what I do personally. At Tim vs. Bob 2, I brought out a UAV, I brought out 3 rifles, 3 sidearms, 4 grenades. I brought out candy to bribe the tribes with. I brought out the iPad to command the UAV. So we want to encourage you to bring everything, and also gear up and bring everything out there, because I hate being out on the field and not having something I want when I need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that I'm super excited about this game series is, if you guys have been following us throughout the year, last year, we did a lot of different games, but they were all kind of their own little thing. With this year, we're going to be doing multiple game events, like Bob said, nationwide, where all these game events are going to be tied together in one universe, hence BB Wars. And so, like Bob said, it's not Milsim, and I'm really stoked that like anybody and everybody can come out. So we're going to see the hardcore, really experienced guys out there, but then we'll see a lot of the newer players too. And then, like you said, the magazine restrictions, and also for the uniform requirements. The way we're setting it up is it's not a Milsim event, so you don't have to have one specific BDU. Nope. Plain and simple, it's going to be tan colors versus OD colors, but we will also allow civilian clothing on the tan team.
Yes. So, go ahead.
So that opens it up to literally everybody, and we also try to set these game events to be at a very affordable price point too, where these game tickets are going to be anywhere between around $40 to $50 or so. So you're not spending $200, $300 for a game ticket. Not knocking on Milsim events at all. By all means, those are completely worth it.
Yeah.
Amazing events.
Yeah,
but we're super stoked for this series because this is going to be fun, entertaining. I'm sure you guys can already see there's a lot of nerd inspirations into it. So, this isn't meant to be taken super serially, but we want to have a lot of fun with it. And we want you guys to have a lot of fun with it, too. And it's something that Bob has specifically been working. I'm throwing you under the bus here. Bob has been working super, super hard on this stuff. If you guys aren't aware, Bob is actually the event coordinator for the company here at Airsoft GI. So a lot of this stuff is his own brainchild. But yeah, I'm so excited for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. What else can you tell us about the game, Bob?
Well, actually, I would like to go into the uniform requirements about this, because, like you said, the green-based camos are going to be on the Imperial side. I consider multicam to be green-based. It's the majority of it is green-based. Let's say like Crytek Mandrake, OD green, anything that the majority of it is green-based or is green is going to be on the Imperial side. Tan-based camouflage, like Crytek Highlander, 3-color, 6-color desert, or just tan, is going to be on my side, along with civilian clothing. And what's interesting is that kind of harkens back all the way to the beginning of the Tim vs. Bob series. I had a lot of folks that we want to encourage people who didn't have like their own like BDUs yet, or were just getting into it, to be able to come out. So we actually had a group of kids that came out with, they were in just, I think, polo shirts and jeans, and they actually brought their JanSport backpacks from school so they could carry extra ammo in the field, and all of them had that, and they were just throwing out ammo to everyone. Cool. So it was really cool when you make use of something you already have, if that's what you can afford, and if it's stupid but works, it ain't stupid. So that's what's great about these things. You can be creative, and especially on my side, because of civilian attire, because rebels are crazy, we get a lot of crazy and awesome folks that come out to my team, like team therapists. Every game they show up to, let's see, they showed up. Let's see, the first time was Mormon missionaries, the next time was Mexican Americans, and then the next time was minions from Despicable Me.
Oh.
And they even had the purple minion, but every time they are armed to the teeth. It's either heavy weapons or rocket launchers, and they are great. So I want to encourage everyone to dress up as much as they can. We definitely had a fellow who was in full leprechaun outfit the last time we had a game like this, and I asked him, I was like, why are you dressed like that? And he looked at me, he's like, it's March 17th? I was like, oh my God, St. Patrick's Day. So, and he was actually badass on the field. So it's great when people can be able to just have as much fun as they want, and we seriously encourage that, as well as melee weapons. So yeah, if you guys are in any way curious about the event details, go to airsoftgi.com, click on our game tickets, and you can check this out. You can sign up, obviously, for the Imperial side or the Rebel side. And the event is at March 29th in Texas. Let's see, there was something else specifically I wanted to mention about this, but it's blanking out of my mind right now.
I do want to mention that we've had these game tickets up for about 3 days, and we're just gearing up for a lot of the stuff that we want to share that we've been working on the inside here at GI. But the game tickets are already starting to sell, and it is limited slots available. So if you guys are interested in this game at all, I know this is like 2 months out, but seriously, go get your game tickets before they sell out, because once they sell out, T14 is a big field, but we want to make sure it's fun and fair for everybody, so we do have a cap. So if you guys are interested in it, make your plans. If you guys are traveling or if you guys are in the local area, honestly, don't wait and get your tickets sooner than later.
You can also head into any of our walk-in stores and buy game tickets there. So let's say you happen to be going there for BBs anyway, you can purchase a ticket for this event at the walk-in store, specifically our Texas walk-in store. I highly suggest that. And one other thing we're doing that's really interesting about this is that I'm going to be using an AK, and Daniel will be using an M4 platform. Now, to an incentive to also use those same platforms, those specific sides, we're encouraging players to do that. And if you show up, I believe right now it's, if you show up for Daniel's side or the Imperial side, if you're using a G4 or an FMG4 or specific brands, which we're going to push out in the next week or two, you're going to get a $5 GI gift card at the event. So think about that. You're going to pay $45 for the ticket, and if you show up with just that gun or that platform, you're going to get a gift card that's going to give you $5 free. So it's essentially $5 off the ticket price, and it's awesome. In addition to the chance of winning a bunch of awesome, ridiculously cool raffle prizes and getting free GI swag. So for my side, you know, if you're using an AK platform or specific brands, which we're going to put up again in the next week or two, you're going to get $5 GI gift card. It's the first time we're doing that, and I think it's really awesome that you guys are going to get that chance. I've also had it told to me that we are already securing a limited number of vehicles at this event. And some of these vehicles have missile launchers.
I'm pretty excited.
It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
I think everyone in the office is, what's that called? Really excited.
Yes,
so
very
it's going
much
to be
so.
a lot of fun.
I saw a question I do want to answer really quick, and the question was, where do you get the tickets from? They're available on our website right now at airsoftgi.com. If there's a scrolling banner in the front that rotates, and there's also trends. If you just type in BB Wars in the search engine, it's kind of all over our website because we just went live with it. So it's on our website at airsoftgi.com, or if you're at the local store in Texas, or even if you're in our California store or Virginia store and plan on flying out, you guys can buy in-store over there too. So yeah.
For a more specific location, if you're looking on the left side of our website, go down to the bottom. You'll see mystery boxes and game tickets. Click on that thing, and you can just click on game tickets, and you'll see them right there. We've got an awesome photo put out by our graphics department, which is doing a bang-up job.
Oh, yeah, there's some really cool stuff we're excited to share with you guys. And, I see a lot of comments right now of, like, come to this state or come to this state. This is the first game of mini games all year long. So we're going to be in Texas for this first game, but there will be events on the West Coast and events on the East Coast. And so we're going to try to spread it around as much as we can so everyone can be a part of this grand story of BB Wars. So, we also have a lot of plans to share with you guys in terms of the storyline that we can't or don't want to share with you guys yet. But Bob, do you want to maybe give them just a quick snippet and summary of what's going on with the story as much as we can and how it ties in with past events?
Yes. Well, essentially, this is about a year and a half after the events of Tim versus Bob 5. Basically, a new enemy has arisen after the disappearance of Tim, with quite a more dastardly plan than before. Now, obviously, there's a lot of information on the website, but just to give a quick catch you up, at the end of Tim vs. Bob 5, the Timpire had secured a nuclear weapon, and that's going to play a role in the coming games. What they're going to do with it? Are they going to do something more dastardly than we imagine, or is there some evil super weapon afoot? So there's a lot of stuff that is going to become apparent as these events go on, because again, like we said before, each event or each game event is going to determine the storyline, and that's what's really fun. Is like, when I first started going to Milsim events, and again, this is not a Milsim event, I thought it was really cool that, my individual squad or my individual platoon or company was able to affect the greater course of the battle for that weekend. But this is not only a weekend. Your actions are going to not only inform that event, but they're going to inform the rest of this war for this year or this campaign. Because, for each of these games, there are going to be strategic resources that if one side or the other secures them, they're going to carry on to the next game until they're used by the campaign commanders. So let's say you capture an intelligence resource at the D14 game. That intelligence resource will be available for the commander that captures it throughout the entire rest of the year. So whoever captures that is going to be one important fella, and is probably going to get a heck of a lot of handshakes, especially if they're on my team. Yeah. You're going to get a handshake and probably a free hug, because that's one size fits all. Let's see, other things. Basically, I try to put as much information about this event on the game ticket as possible. So if you can, make sure that you read everything on the game ticket if you're planning on going. We also put the D14 Airsoft field rules there. Now, it's really important to read the field rules at any field you go to, just to make sure that everyone is on a level playing field, just so you guys don't have any problems with the reps. You just want to understand the rules as best as possible. So for instance, at this field, they make you switch to, depending on what weapon you're using, they make you switch to a pistol when you're going inside buildings, like if you have like a DMR or a support weapon. Also, if you're shooting out of the buildings, you have to poke your rifle or your barrel outside of the window or outside of the building. So it's important you guys know all of this stuff ahead of time to at least succeed as well as possible on the airsoft battlefield. And I got to tell you, D14 is a great field. Daniel and I had the chance to play there. What were your first impressions, Daniel?
Oh, no, it was a blast. So when we went out there, it was actually the day after the grand opening, and it rained pretty heavily the few days before, and it was actually sprinkling a little bit the day of. So it was definitely muddy, but I don't even know how many acres of land they had out there, but it was more than enough to house, 400 or 500 people. And so I really like the mix of field that they have, where they have some, they have like a ravine going through, and then you got some like heavily wooded areas, and then you have I would say like a small mount town with a bunch of buildings that they built that are actually modular that they can change up, and then they also have a whole trench system, and all of this is together in this gigantic playing field where you can play and have objectives in these different types of terrain, and it's a completely different experience. I remember one of my favorite games when we were playing was a trench warfare game where my team was trying to defend this. It was like King of the Hill, and through the hill was all this trenches, and we were set up and we were defending, and your team, Bob, just came at us with full force, and we were desperately trying to hold it. We were holding for the longest time, but I remember eventually we did get overrun, and I still had a blast because I was just watching at this point because I was filming a little bit. But yeah, it was really cool because that was a full-on like trench warfare, battle, going hands and knees and everything, and crawling through the mud. And then the next game was like in the ravine, and then it was just like it was hunter killer, instead of like direct action. So it's a lot of variety. I feel like I got a lot of different experiences of CQB, long range hunting, and so yeah, I'm really stoked for that with a lot of the objective and the game scenarios we have for it. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and in addition to those areas on the field, they also have down planes they put on the field. I remember seeing at least two. They have a multi-room mansion that has a gate around it. They call that the drug mansion, I believe. And they also have, like I mentioned before, multiple vehicles, which we will more than likely be using.
I did see a question asking if there's a map of D14 anywhere. Actually, on the game ticket for this event, one of the pictures is of a 3D map of D14. Well, the picture isn't 3D, but it's a picture of the map. So you can take a look at it, and it's really hard just to get a scale and see how big the field really is without actually going there. But go to the game ticket, and there's a map of the field to give you an idea of what it's like.
I'd like to throw into that, if you want to get a better interpretation of what the field is like, obviously you can go and play the field, which I would highly suggest. It's a great field run by great folks, especially if Jay Ward is listening. He should just text me. But if you really want to get as best look as possible at the field without actually going there, go to our Texas walk-in store, because The amazing guys at D14 created one of the best 3D maps I have ever seen. I guess some members of Jay Ward's family are into model trains, so that gave them a lot of foresight into how to build this. But they made a scale 3D map, which is on display in the center of our walk-in store, and it was coming from a guy that plays a lot of tabletop games. I was so excited to see it because after like looking at it for over a minute, I was like, oh my God. There's people on the map. I think there's like between 80 and 100 tiny players on there. There's a tan team and a green team. So the level of detail in that 3D map is astonishing. The only thing close to that I saw was, I know the Battlehat guys have a great 3D map at their field, but this one is on display at our store, very accessible, in a really cool frame, and I highly suggest you take a look at it. Or you can take a look at our recap from our visit to Texas and the grand opening of the store. There's some video of us playing on the field at D14, so you can check out that video on our main YouTube channel.
I totally want to have like a mock battle of this event at that tabletop with just like Warhammer guys and be like, all right, my troops are going here.
No, I wanted to play 40K on that battle or on that table, but it's not scaled right, which I can't fault them for that. I mean, 40K is a little bit bigger, but I definitely think we're going to be doing some pre-planning strategy sessions on that table with tiny figurines. So
should be a lot of fun. So we're going to open up Q&A in probably about 5-10 minutes if you guys have questions about any of the promotions or this event. But we do have a lot of new products we want to show you guys really quick before we jump into the Q&A.
We do have a question that should probably be answered. Generally for our games, we used to not allow black gear for the night missions because it makes it far too confusing for players out there. Since there are not going to be any night missions at this event, black gear will more than likely be on the Imperial side.
OD.
Yeah. However, and we were actually just discussing this, like any folks who are using like Wolf Gray or Ranger Gray or anything gray, that's going to be on the Rebel side. So black gear will be on Imperial side, and most of everything else will be on the Rebel side, if there's any question.
And one thing I do want to specify really quick before we move on to new products is that when we're talking about the uniform requirement, it's just the clothing. So if you have different colored tactical gear, so for example, if I'm on Bob's team and I have 3-color desert, which is tan, and let's say my tactical gear is OD, I don't want to have to go buy another $100, $200 worth of set of tactical gear. You can wear whatever color tactical gear you want, but the clothing, the shirt and the pants, that needs to be the right color.
Yeah.
So just to clarify.
So the clothing is what matters. The gear can be any color you want. And I just want to point out this question since Dana are talking about this as well. Taco Airsoft, great name by the way. Wow, I missed it. Oh, whoop, that's the wrong question. Someone's asking, are there ever going to be any Springer games? Yeah. So we're thinking about it. Just saying that. But also, if you want to see a cool Springer game, you can check out our YouTube channel. You can either go through the gameplay folder or just scroll back. There's actually a really cool spring pistol battle that Daniel engaged in. You did actually really well.
Yeah, it was like one of the funnest games last year. We were at Battlehack, and this small group of players came up like, hey, Daniel, you want to have a Springer battle? And Greg was there too. We're like, heck yeah, let's do it. It was a blast. It was great.
Yeah, highly suggested.
But let's jump into some of the new products really quick, and then we'll open up the Q&A.
Absolutely. This one first.
So first of all, we have a new CO2 all-metal gas blowback pistol. This is going to be the Well M1911 G194. So I know CO2 1911s are definitely really popular with the Elite Force being around for a while. This is another great 1911 option for you guys. Buy Well. It's going to be retailing for about $89, but you can use our 2015 coupon code on top of that to get 25% off as well. It shoots an FPS about 350. So yeah, if you want a really solid all-metal, hard-kicking gas blowback pistol, this could be a good choice for you. Also comes with the hard carry case. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. All right, moving on. You may be familiar with this.
This is going to be the new Echo 1 Timberwolf version 2. So you're still going to have the polymer lower frame and an all-metal slide. You're also going to have the Picatinny rail for mounting flashlights or whatever crazy attachment you want. For those of you that don't know, this fake serial number is actually a safety. So you can actually switch it back, and that is going to activate the safety so you can't pull the trigger. One of the big upgrades is it's coming with a threaded outer barrel if you guys want to put on a barrel extension. This pistol retails for $35. And will also come with an adjustable back strap.
Are you sure that's $35?
Sorry, $135.
Oh my God! I was like, what?
$135.
What?
Thank you, Bob. And then it's also going to come with a soft carry pistol case if you want to grab that really quick.
Oh yeah, I thought this was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's going to come with the soft carry case and the adjustable back strap. So this is the new Echo 1 Timberwolf version 2.
Now, I'm actually a big fan of these, and on a side note that's really not going to inform your buying purchase decisions at all, is that I only had string cheese for the first time like 2 years ago, and I actually What? I don't know what this means.
So Nate, thank you for giving us a shout out, and we're giving us a shout out back to you guys. Yes, yeah, we love supporting you guys. Keep up the great work, and be sure to check out their YouTube channel, Disposable Heroes.
Okay.
And yeah.
I was assuming it's Disposable Heroes unless you say something. So, yeah, check out Disposable Heroes. They're a GI sponsored team. They're great guys. The vast majority of them are former or current military. They can't even see the bunny ears, Mark. But they're great guys. They put out great footage and they do great work at Milsim events. So yeah, that interrupted my string cheese talk. But essentially, you can use an Echo 1 Timberwolf to open up a packet of string cheese. So moving on.
If you want to grab some of these parts right here, just in the plastic bag.
Oh, those. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to pull out all the parts, but we have Crytek internal and external parts now available on our website. Now, this is really great because if you guys are familiar with Crytek at all, you know they make extremely high-end AEG. So one of the things I know people have been raving about is their hop-up unit. You guys can now buy this hop-up unit for your existing M4 or anything else that's going to be compatible with that. So we have the hop-up units. We have their extremely high torque motor. We have pistons. We have bearings. We also have the Crytek stock, which is really well designed and can fit multiple batteries in there. The Defiance rail systems, the TR110, the TR105, and I think the TR15. So if you want to upgrade your gun to the best quality parts, we got a lot of these Crytek internals and externals now available. Moving on really quick. Thank you, Bob. We got some new stuff in from G-Code. G-Code makes extremely great tactical gear. Now, this is part of their new Scorpion line. And what this was designed to be is modular or universal magazine pouch where it can accept more than one type of magazine. Hence this elastic design that you have here that actually splits. Bungee, thank you. This is going to be the 7.62 variant. There's also a variant for the 5.56, but if you want to get like one of these, you can potentially use multiple different styles of magazines. This is for a pistol magazine, so you great if you have like a double stack, let's say a TM High Kappa or anything of that variant. So because you have this flexibility, you can technically put other stuff besides a magazine in here too. If you used to say maybe a small flashlight or a toolkit, multi-tool or something like that, this is good not only for magazines, but this kind of opens up the options in a lot of different ways.
I also like to mention that all G-Code products come with a lifetime warranty. That's one of the reasons I use them, but it's also just really awesome in general. I personally really prefer using G-Code holsters. I use them all the time, unless I forget them sometimes. It does happen. But yeah, I really like G-Code products. Hopefully I'm going to be picking up some of these because not only do they perform well, but they actually look really cool. So
definitely.
Yes.
And then I think we got a couple of new guns in as well, if they are nearby.
They are. I'm actually really excited for this one.
Speaking of Crytek.
Yep.
This is the new Crytek Pdw. So this is going to have Crytek's amazing internal gearbox with 8mm ball bearings, built-in MOSFET, and just amazing internal parts overall. 100% 11.1 LiPo ready. This is going to be their CQB variant, and I believe it's about a 4 or 5 inch barrel. This is going to have their Defiance 105 rail system that is going to be the mil-spec key mod, so you can add key mod accessories or the rail panels. And the other really cool thing that I like is this retractable 2-position stock. Very CQB, very compact. Battery compartment is going to be in this buffer tube style compartment. You can easily fit a small 11.1 1000 milliamp LiPo in there, so there is definitely enough room. But for those that want to make a very CQB style gun, I've seen this in a couple different configurations and it looks awesome. I know Crytek is also working on selling the stock alone in the future. So if, let's say, you really like the stock and you want to put it on one of your existing Cryteks or another gun later on in the future, that is going to be an option as well. I saw another question that somebody's asking when the TAN and OD Crytek guns are coming out. They didn't give us an ETA. We know they have the ability to make those guns in TAN or SAND and OD, but we don't have an ETA when that's coming out. So I think that's for Alpha Dog 1. I saw you answer or ask that question a couple times. So that one was for you.
Yes.
And then I think we got a new gas blowback AK we want to show you guys.
Oh, hey, Tim's watching.
Hi, Tim.
Hey, Red Bull Tim. What's up, buddy?
We miss you.
I can't wait for that Hunger Games footage to come out. It's gonna be so much fun.
Because you guys came back from that day and you guys just told me story after story of how much fun it was, and I was stuck in the office that day, so I didn't get a chance.
I just can't wait for like a Bill chasing Tim, going swiggity swooty, I'm coming for that booty, and then Tim turning around and just double pistoling Bill in the chest.
Oh,
That'll be
man,
so
that sounds
much.
great.
I cannot wait for that. And Bill also set a trap for me, which was really smart. So I
Oh,
gotta give him credit.
Yeah, that's should be on Facebook and on JTV Uncut. That was really cool.
All right. Well, next up in new products.
This is the brand new KWA AKG KCR gas blowback rifle, powered by Green Gas. And yeah, this is probably, I'm gonna say it, the coolest gas blowback AK I've ever seen. We just got these in last Friday, which was a big shock and surprise to us, which we didn't mind because we just found out that this thing existed at SHOT Show like a couple weeks ago, and then KWA is like, here it goes. And so we're super stoked. A lot of the features on this gun are going to include a lot of modern upgrades for an AK platform. So we're going to have a M4 style buffer tube, so you can actually change this out if you want to do like a Magpul CTR stock or any other M4 stock. The fire controls have also been upgraded. You have the normal AK selector on the right, but on the left over here, you have the Galil style selector, so you can actually change the selector without taking your hands off the fire control. You got rails everywhere.
Wait, let me just demonstrate, because I was shocked by this. So I'm using the fire selector on the opposite side. Pretty cool.
Magic.
It actually locks in. Pretty awesome. Right there. And awesome. So go on.
So then we're going to have rails everywhere on the handguard and for optics up front. The iron sights are going to be M4 or M16 style of iron sights. That's what they were inspired by. So you have windage and elevation controls on both, and you have two different peepholes, one for CQB and one for longer range shots. You're also going to have an A2 style flash hider at the end. It is going to be semi and fully automatic. One of my favorite features is it's going to be using KWA's Type 4 hop-up unit that does not require a key to adjust it. You can just pull the bolt back and adjust it on your own.
Nice.
But when we were shooting it, there was like little to no side-to-side deviation. Like it was just shooting like straight. It was really, really nice. And yeah, QD mounts on the buffer tube on the left and right. You also have another rail on the left side for that side rail mount, which I don't really anticipate a lot of people needing since you already have a rail on top, but it's there in case you need it.
More options rather than less.
Absolutely. So an amazing new rifle from KWA, gas blowback once again, going on our website for $399.
Yeah, $399.95. It's on pre-order right now.
Oh no, it's available now.
Oh, it's available now.
We've already shipped out like
fast.
we've already shipped out like half our shipment.
Damn.
So we're going. They're selling really fast. If you guys want one, get one sooner than later.
All right.
And the last thing we're going to show you guys, it actually came out a little while ago, and I know we had it on one of the other live shows, but wanted to show you guys again. This is some new rail systems from PTS. This is going to be the Fortis rail system, the Fortis Rev rail system by PTS. So you got full trademarks on it. The design behind this rail is to be as lightweight but as strong as possible. So that's why they actually went with a one-piece design. So it's not going to split apart. You have key mod on the left and right. It's also going to come included with a fake gas tube and gas block. And then you have 4 QD mounts on it as well, front and back, right and left. So a very modern, awesome looking rail system that you can add to your import.
Now, nobody knows except for one other person, but I'm actually going to be switching over my personal LM4 to a Fortis rail in the next 2 weeks. I don't have a watch. So yeah, I'm going to be switching over this because one of the things I did notice is that it's incredibly lightweight, and while I've never been one for, super lightweight things, it is really, really rugged and strong. So I'm really excited for that, and should be really fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I believe they have a slogan on here that I like. I think it's "Strength by Design." Yes.
Oh yes.
Fortis's, that's like Fortis's slogan. So it really shows in their products, in their design of how strong it is and how light it is. So definitely really cool. So we got about 13 minutes left on our show, so we want to open it up now for comments, shoutouts, and questions. If you guys have questions about any of these new products, other products, or about the new BB Wars series that I'm so excited about. But let me see if what we can. Okay, I'm gonna answer this. Young Biz, I've seen you ask this question a bunch. When is the new Jag Echo 1 Platinum coming out?
Good question.
Don't have an ETA. I'm not sure if maybe they might have said it and I don't remember. But I'm assuming you're talking about the Urban Gray Platinum M4s.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah, they look really cool. I don't have an exact ETA, so I apologize for that.
I don't think they gave us one.
Yeah, I know they're working on it, but I'm pretty stoked for when they come out. Let's see what other questions we have. Why are keymod rails so expensive? Well, when it comes to the keymod rails, if you have It is a little bit more expensive to manufacture compared to, let's say, M-Lock. One of the big reasons is on the key mod, you see that little key mod hole? It's actually beveled on the inside, so that means that the machining process is actually a little bit more expensive. But it's an extremely modular and very functional system, so that it maybe is one of the reasons why it might be more expensive. It's also very new and trending, and there's a lot of great products for it. It's very well thought out, so I mean, overall, it's just great stuff, but that might be one of the reasons why it is more expensive.
Okay, this is from AKM for Airsoft 5531. Dear Bob, I've been asking for a while now, are you guys going to do a game up here in Wisconsin? I would love to be able to tell you yes or no. Currently, though, how we usually do is that when we have future games down the line, usually we have to lock down venues and a lot of other stuff ahead of time, but generally we don't announce them until at least a month and a half to 2 months out. So any future games we have coming up are currently classified, and I'm sorry I can't tell you more, but that's how we have to do it for now. So. Let's see.
I got a question from Baconator Beer. Great name.
Yeah. Wow.
Is the CQB Master Limited Edition Full Metal 4.3 High Kappa a good gun? For that price range, I would actually recommend going with like a KJW. The KJW has High Kappa series, or if you want to go with like an M9 or 226, simply because KJW, you can get a KJW pistol for around the same price range, and in my opinion, those are going to perform better and last longer. So maybe take a look at KJW pistols instead.
Somebody's asking about these Scorpion mags. Are these on the G-Code RTI system, or do these ones have Molly mounts? These specific ones we showed you come with Molly mounts. I don't know for sure whether they're coming out or if they have already come out with ones with RTI mounts. But the fact that they have Molly mounts is going to at least take care of me in particular. So that's the deal with those.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question from
Kaigon Kazakagi.
He was asking if we've shipped to Puerto Rico before. We have. We are now shipping globally. We have shipped to a lot of different countries. We can ship to almost any country. Maybe not North Korea, but we can ship to almost any country in the world now, which we're really happy to do. Different countries will have different rules and regulations, so make sure you guys do look up on that before you make an order. But yeah, we can ship stuff out to the UK as well, and all over Europe. We've shipped out dozens of orders out to the UK and to Europe too. So yeah, if you guys are all over the country, all over the world, yeah, you guys can order from us now. All right, let's see what else we got.
Milton Seligson, your shout out is approved. Mr. Muncherman, your shout out is of course approved.
Let's see.
Breacher 1367, your shout out is approved. Max Frey, your shout out is approved.
Victor Nguyen is asking a tech question. How would Win. My apologies. I just read it straight. But it was, I think it was, how would I be able to add a Fortis or M-Lock rail? I currently own a KWA CQR Mod 2. So our G4 M-Lock rail should work just fine with the KWA CQR or the Fortis. If you have a CQR, one thing I do want to warn you of is the outer barrel on the CQR is a little bit wider than some of the other M4s out there. So be aware that if you're trying to put a battery or you have wiring, that might cause some compatibility issues. So just be aware of that. But otherwise, the Fortis and the G4 one should go on the CQR and shouldn't be too much problem. I know the CQR is wired to the front, so that's why I talk about the barrel thing, because you're either going to have to wire it to the front with a PEC box, or you're going to have to rewire it to the rear with a crane stock. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question.
Dang it. I was just... Okay. Andrew Burton, I love donuts as well, and your shout out is approved. A potato, your shout out is approved. Nice.
Will Grant is asking, what is the best G4? Ooh, that's a hard question. My favorite G4 right now is the new G4 M-Lock Blitz. I like that gun so much that I'm building a new gun based off that design that's heavily inspired by it, just for this new Bead Wars game series. So that's when the text came out with that, I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. So I'm kind of basing it off that. So that's going to be really, really cool.
We're really sorry, guys, if we don't get to your question. Literally, the question or the comments are just going crazy right now. So we're trying to answer them as quick as we can. Bob looks so serious. Do I?
Very.
Quite. All right, moving on.
I saw one. Oh, I think it was
Scott Hicks. Your shout out is approved.
Nope, it disappeared.
It did. Ah,
it's going too quick.
This is good. Sorry, Ryan Culp. Does a Shemagh count as face protection? No, it does not. It does. I mean, that does work for folks over 18 at certain events. But if you're required to have face protection, they're talking about like a mesh mask or a hard plastic face protection. Nothing that can literally, get shot through. It has to be hard, serious face protection. So, mesh mask or plastic face pro or face mask. So,
I saw a really good question that I actually really liked. The question was, for a beginner, can you explain airsoft? What is airsoft? I think that's a great question. Airsoft is a very competitive, fun, adrenaline-pumping sport, some people would call it, or a hobby for sure, that it's two teams put together, or not put together, two teams clashing together where they're going to be using airsoft guns that are propelled by air, shooting 6mm plastic BBs. Now, a common question is, how do you know when you're out? It's a game of honor. So when you get hit, you're going to feel it, you're going to hear it, you're going to be able to identify it one way or another. When you get hit, raise your hand in the air, keep your face protection on, which is mandatory for all airsoft games, and then walk out. Now, there's different styles of games where force on force is the most basic, meaning all you do is eliminate the other team. You have respawns or extra lives, where if you get shot, you go back to your base and start again. There's like VIP, defuse the bomb, and like anything you can imagine within, the video game world. Or there's Milsim, which is military simulation, where they'll try to emulate military operations. That's what airsoft is, and there's a lot of different possibilities and different levels of airsoft where you can play very casually with your friends. You can play at some of the fun events that we're going to be throwing, or the really crazy hardcore Milsim events that are super epic too. So there's a lot of options. It's a whole world. So that's kind of my mini summary on what airsoft is.
I think you covered everything. Wait, don't move it.
Not touching.
I think you covered everything pretty well, so I'm just going to move on to some of these questions. Connor Alberton, or please forgive me if I missed the last name. If I'm wearing a camo shirt and a tan plate carrier, can I still be a rebel trooper? The color of your gear doesn't really matter as far as what team you're on. It just matters what clothing you're wearing. So, if you're wearing green camo, you're going to be on the Imperial side. But, for my side, if you wear anything tan-based, or if you just wear civilian clothes, like, a sweatshirt and jeans, you can be on my team. So civilian clothes or tan-based clothing for the Rebels, green-based clothing for the Imperial side. Also, one other thing, someone had a really good question. What is the most important role in a Milsim game?
Most important role? Ooh.
I have an answer, but I want to hear what you say first.
Can I say the referee? No.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, the referee's always important.
Mine's better. But
the most important role, I would say, would be the commanders, because with was that it?
No, it wasn't, but that's a good answer too.
Because with Milsim, that's like the one airsoft style of game where you have the most teamwork and communication. A lot of people are hooked up to radios, and you actually have squads and platoons and stuff like that. So if everyone is working together in perfect unison and in communication, the commander would have the most important role, because he's the one deciding where everybody goes, how you attack and defend, and which objective to go with. So I would say commander.
I was going to say medic.
Oh, medic is really good.
Yeah. Also, I want to point out that due to the high volume of comments, the comment loading is disabled. We don't have that happen every time. So click here to continue loading comments.
We're going to try to get this going. Whew. What is the best FP?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nathan's asking what's the best FPS for Milsim. FPS, does help. You want to have, as high FPS as possible within the field regulations. So depending on what Milsim game you go to, different guns are going to have different limitations. So for most riflemen or most players, it's going to be 400 FPS or below. So I'd say set your gun around 400 FPS without going over as close as you can. That's what I'd recommend.
I want to throw this out. Matthew Morgan is here with his grandma Betsy again. So hi, Betsy.
Hi,
What's
Betsy.
up again? I think we said hi last time, so it's good to see you back again. I can't see you, but it's good to have you back. Also, Red Wolf Airsoft just asks if he could wear pajamas to the game. Yes. In fact, please do, because I really like having people dress up and wear a lot of crazy stuff to my events. I think one thing I haven't seen yet is a full kitted out Space Marine or someone dressed up as a giant demon. But honestly, like wear something to your heart's content that'll at least like make you have a fun and a safe game. So yeah, bring pajamas, wear what you want as long as you have like eye and face protection, or if you're over 18, at least eye protection.
So what if those pajamas are OD based colors, like woodland? See, then they would go on the Imperial side, correct?
Fine.
Yes. I actually have a pair of woodland pajamas. Just saying. So
when did you get them?
It was like Christmas 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been preparing for this for a long time.
Well played.
Yes. All right. Let's see if we go back to more questions. What else do we have?
Oh, this is a good question. Innocent Gorilla. For a beginner, what gear should I get? Thanks. You're welcome. I have some suggestions. I'm sure Daniel may have some different ones. In my mind, the best purchase for your money if you're looking for a new setup of gear is get a Griffin Golden chest rig. Yeah, I got it. It's $15. And they actually designed this really well for such a low price point. It can fit 9 M4 magazines in the included 3 M4 style magazine pouches, or you can fit 6 AK mags, and there's still MOLLE on the side. You can even open up the interior to put a lot of stuff on the inside, like Big League Chew, a map, a watch, a phone, whatever. I love Big League Chew. It's a great bubble gum. But also, they made the shoulder straps really wide, so it will spread the weight over a wider area than some of the more more affordable plate carriers. Although that plate carrier is one of the most affordable possible. I just like that they designed the shoulder straps really wide. That meant that they put a lot of work in the design process. And again, one of the best deals on their website. And you can also get the Griffin Dragon Spine belt system. It comes with a belt, a dual M4 magazine pouch, so it's 2 pouches that can hold 6 M4 mags or 4 AK mags, and you also get a recovery/dump pouch. So really great deals. Each of those are $15. Highly suggest the chest rig, and I actually used it at Operation Irene at Fort Knox. So if you guys are thinking it's going to break on you or rip, I used that all weekend and had 0 problems. I was actually really happy that I used it because it's lightweight.
Yeah, great answer. I can't top that for sure.
Excellent.
But I want to answer a question from Travis. We've seen you ask a couple times of what M4 platform would I suggest to build an aggressive DMR like mine. I would suggest the one and the only Echo One M16 Platinum.
Good choice.
Yeah. OEM by VFC, simply because that gun is all metal. Out of the box, it is extremely solid, but it is extremely customizable too, which is what you want for a DMR platform, because you want to be able to put in all the best internal and external parts. And with that, you can change out barrel, bucking, hop-up unit, pistons, gears, gearbox, all that stuff. So I would recommend the Echo One M16 Platinum OEM by VFC for DMR base gun.
Whoa. Hey, Bob, it's Maple. Hit me up with that shout out. Nice, Maple. What's up? Let me just take a look at that real quick.
I'll answer something really quick in the process. Andrew's asking favorite battery. My favorite battery is the Tenergy 11.1 LiPo. That's 1,000 milliamps. It is tiny, but I have like 4 of them because it will fit pretty much anywhere.
Awesome. Frosty Dude 137, your shout out is approved. Maple, good to see you here again. It's Taylor. Please forgive me. I'm going to script the last name whether I want to or not. Taylor Feuerbacher or Feuerbacher. Please forgive me again, Maple. It's good to see you out at the event at D14. I'm glad I gave you that patch. Good axe kill on me. I was very impressed, especially when you hit my hand and went running away. So that was really awesome, and it's good to see you here at the live show.
I think we're actually going past our time, so maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll have to say our farewells.
Okay. God, I saw a question a second ago, but I can't remember it.
What are your thoughts from Christian Martin? What are your thoughts on running real plates in your plate carrier? By all means, especially I've seen a lot of Milsimmers. Milsim meaning military simulation. If you want it to be as realistic as possible, I've seen people play with real plates. Now, real plates are expensive, so even if I did own real plates, I don't know if I'd play with them because I'd be afraid that I would trip or something. I don't want to damage them or anything like that, even though they are supposed to be
damage them?
Yeah, I know. It'd be very unlikely, but I've heard multiple people saying you don't want to.
Now,
so I wouldn't necessarily play with them, but if you want to play with them, I think, yeah, go for it, by all means. I think that's part of the experience, and that's part of the fun, and that's part of the option you have as an airsoft player.
Now, I was holding my breath the whole time. Now, I've actually played with real plates in. I got a Groupon deal for some plates, and one of our former coworkers, Andrew Ty, who's now Sheriff's Deputy, we both decided we're going to go out and run them. And remember the Scouts and Knives game?
Yes.
Yeah. So I ran it for the first 2 games of that, and I got to tell you, I mean, I keep reasonably moderately in shape. Daniel's in way better shape than I am. But I was rocking the front and back plates. They were steel plates with rubber coating to prevent spalling, but they're very heavy, and you really should try and work out a lot before using them to get up, I guess, your physical conditioning to be able to run them all day. Because I ran them for 2 games, and Andrew Ty, who is like really broing me into wearing them, I was like, Andrew, dude, I'm wearing these plates. I'm worried I'm going to like roll an ankle or like hurt my legs. He's like, bro, I took them out after the first game. I was like, what the So, because he was like, yeah, they're heavy. He's like, he'll wear them on duty, but not for an airsoft game. So I think putting fake plates in for the game definitely gives you that feel on a vest. You definitely want to fill the vest out. And one question I want to answer, I know we're running a little bit over time, but someone asked earlier, what is a good plate carrier for folks that are a little bit larger in size? I believe these are still available on our website, but the Spectre modular plate carrier in large is a very good plate carrier for people who are larger. I wear one in medium, and that actually works for people like one of our older employees is like 6'3" or 4" and a bigger gentleman, and that still fit him. But anything over that, you'd want to get the Spectre modular plate carrier in large. So get in large. They're not the most affordable plate carrier, but they're solid as a rock. That's why I keep using them. Lifetime warranty, and I highly suggest them.
I think Bill uses one too.
Bill uses one as well. Bill uses one in medium, and he's a big guy as well. So, like, I mean, if you're bigger than that, then you're going to want to get the large.
Awesome. So I think we're running out of time, but I do want to do a shout out for Nicholas Figueroa because you're always here. So thank you for watching. And Mr. Muncher Man, here's your high five. I can't give you a high five over the internet, but you asked for one because you're also always here. And all you guys that join us every live show, we definitely really appreciate the support and joining us every single week. But I think we're about out of time, unless there's any last question that you want to answer, bud.
No. Well, let's see.
Last question of the day.
Oh,
I'm gonna give one.
Bruh, hit me up with that shout out. Andrew Dane, your shout out is approved. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
All right, I think that's going to be our show for today.
Wait. Oh. Bob and Daniel, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 20 duck-sized horses?
Man, I never heard that before.
I know.
That's, yeah.
20 duck-sized horses.
Yeah, definitely, because, yeah.
I step on them.
Yeah, you punt it.
Yeah.
How about that Super Bowl?
Oh man, that was crazy. That was crazy.
All right, guys, we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye bye now. Bye bye.